it was extremely scary. And that was the first time that I knew or I felt how debilitating MS could be. What's up, y'all? It's Jone'e, and welcome back to Embracing My Journey, where I talk all things motherhood and lifestyle. In this video, I'm going to be sharing my experience with multiple sclerosis or MS and pregnancy and postpartum. Artist is going to be here sleeping because we just got over COVID, and so this little baby needs some extra loving. So he's just going to sleep right here and join us for the chit chat, okay? I wanted to do this video not only because I started this channel sharing my journey with MS, but also because I think this is something that a lot of people don't necessarily talk about when it comes to MS, or at least from what I saw and what I decided to look out for when I got pregnant. I didn't see many videos about it, so I wanted to share my experience. I have my phone here because I wrote down some notes and I don't want to forget anything about telling y'all about MS and pregnancy and postpartum. When I was diagnosed, the doctor always told me that I needed to let them know when I would be pregnant or trying to get pregnant or any of those things, because I needed to be off medicine. So if you haven't watched the video where I found out I was pregnant, I talked about how when I found out I was pregnant, I stopped taking my medicine, or I took one more treatment because at that time I was taking an infusion, and then I stopped taking it because we want to make sure that we're off the medication because it's not great for the baby and the health of the baby. So I stopped taking those. It can also lead to, or steroids can also lead to cleft palate, and of course we don't want any of those things. So I stopped taking my medication. And they always say when you get pregnant, this has like been the thing that everyone has always told me, or doctors is what I mean, have always told me, when you're pregnant, you won't experience any flares. Like your chance of experiencing any flare is very minimal. And then afterwards, you will experience your flare-ups after you've delivered and sometime postpartum. Throughout pregnancy, I experienced no MS symptoms, no MS flares, and none of that. So I typically have flares with my vision. Didn't experience any of that or any new things at all. Afterwards, though, I want to say 3 months after, so maybe Artist was born in September, and in November, around Thanksgiving, is when I started to notice something is happening, something is changing, and I'm probably having an MS flare. I started to lose vision in my left eye. And it started gradually, like, okay, something is not, it's not clear. And because I've had this experience, I knew exactly what it was and why it was happening, because I haven't been on medication for 9 months. So I started to lose vision there. It was very, I want to say, I don't know that scary is the word for it, but it was like, I know I'm going to have to be back on medicine soon, and I just thought, like, I'm just riding this wave of no medication, and hopefully I will never have to do it again. But then here comes the flare. So it was very like a downer, but I also prepared for when this was to come. I knew that I needed to let my doctor know that I am having a flare, so that way we could possibly start getting treatment. What also was very, I would say, stressful and something that I was concerned about was that I wanted to breastfeed. When you're breastfeeding too, you sometimes hear doctors say that you don't want to be having your medicine or taking treatment while breastfeeding because it can affect the baby. So that was all that was going on in my head. Like, oh my gosh, I want to be able to breastfeed my baby. And how am I going to be able to do that if I start treatment and it's only been 3 months? Freaking out. I would like think about this very often, and I'm so grateful for my boyfriend who was very, give me 1 second, y'all. My boyfriend has been super supportive and helpful and just encouraging me that everything is going to be fine, because I would freak out. Like, I want to breastfeed. And my thing too after this, I was like, okay, I just want to, like, my personal goal is to make it to 6 months without having to take a treatment and having that in my system and then transferring to him through the breast milk. Just make it to 6 months that he has clean breast milk. That's really all that I wanted. So I was okay. And my doctor also told me that if it got worse, then I needed to start treatment. It didn't get worse. It was regular. I could still see. I could still function. So I didn't feel the need to start treatment right away. Um, Fast forward, we make it to, I want to say, April. And my legs, I started to walk. It was a day at home, maybe a Sunday. Yeah, it was definitely a Sunday. Excuse me. It was Sunday, and I started to walk. Actually, let me backtrack. Sorry, y'all. We made it to the 6-month mark, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to schedule my appointment to get the treatment done, because at this point I'm like, okay, I need to be able to see, like, I don't want to continue this. So I scheduled an appointment to start a new treatment, and we're going to be starting Ocrevus, which is also a treatment that I am able to breastfeed on, which I was super happy about, because I'm like, I don't want to do anything that I have to stop breastfeeding. But with Ocrevus, I'm able to continue breastfeeding, and a little bit gets to the baby, but it doesn't hurt the baby at all. So I was so grateful for that. And yeah, that was just super exciting. So I had already scheduled my appointment to start that treatment. And then and that was on a Tuesday. The Sunday before the treatment, I got up to go walk with Artist, and my legs felt like they were crumbling underneath me, literally. Like, it was so scary. Mind you, I've never had any other symptom other than losing vision in my eye. My legs were so weak that it felt like I was going to fall. So I'm next to the wall, so I thought that I could like scooch down so that I didn't fall, but that felt like I would fall anyway, and I wouldn't have control over it. So I saw the sofa, which felt like it was a mile away, and I just hurried, and in my head, mind over matter was like, okay, you're so close. You're almost there. You're almost there. And finally got to the couch and just let it dissolve, the tingling, the weakness, there was like a sensation of pain there too. But it was extremely scary. And that was the first time that I knew, or I felt, how debilitating MS could be. And it was scary as heck, okay? And I'm grateful that I've already started planning to start my treatment too, because that even took a little minute to get started with. But yeah, so, and that happened right at 6 months, right at the time where I'm like, okay, this is my marker, and let's get going. I started my Ocrevus treatment, and it has been great so far. Ocrevus you take 2 times a year, so every 6 months. For their first dose, though, it is split into 2 just to allow your body to get acclimated to the new treatment. But I did really well. But let me tell y'all a funny story. So I was getting prepped to take the treatment. For the treatment, you have to take steroids just in case you have any adverse reactions. You also have to take Benadryl just in case you have any adverse reactions, and both are given to you through the IV. So I got my steroids. I was given the Benadryl, and I'm just over there on my laptop, because I'm thinking it's like any other thing, like any other infusion that I've gotten for MS when I was taking Tysabri. So I'm on my laptop, and I am like drifting off. Well, at the time I didn't know I was drifting into like sleep, but I am drifting off, and I'm like, hold on, nurse, something is happening. I don't have control, like scared, because I don't have control over what's happening right now, and I am passing out. And I'm like, something is happening. And she's like, it's the Benadryl. It went through your veins, so it's going to act faster. I said, oh, well, thank you for telling me. I mean, I wish you would have told me sooner or before you did it, because I am freaking out. I was literally like, why am I doing this? Like, trying to keep my eyes open. By the time I'm getting to her, baby, I'm been asleep. So I wish you would have told me before. But it's funny now. It wasn't funny then, because I was scared, okay? But clearly when you get Benadryl through IV, it gets to your bloodstream faster, which makes you go to sleep much faster than when you get a pill. So we also brought the dose down because I am a petite lady, all right? So I didn't need all that dose. A little bit gonna put me to sleep, so I don't need all of that. So we brought the dose down, and it was fine after that. And I haven't had any adverse reactions to the Ocrevus at all, which is great. So yeah, I wanted to just tell you all about that experience too. I haven't had my second treatment for the year yet. That happens in October, and then I can give another overview if that's something you all want to see. With Ocrevus though too, you do have to pump and dump. So because you don't first of all, you don't want your baby to get on have Benadryl in the system because your baby's going to be knocked out like how I was. And then you also don't want your baby to get in contact with the steroids that they give you as well. So you have to pump and dump, which was quite tough because I have a Velcro baby and he wanted to latch and just be on me and eat through the nipples. So it was tough at night, especially more so at night, but just throughout the day. So just make sure that I had my milk prep, the bottles prepped, so I can just grab when it's time at night, when he wanted to nurse. But yeah, so that was the only thing. You do have to pump and dump because you don't want your baby to get any of those things. After having my Ocrevus treatment, I have been feeling fine. Now, I wouldn't say that the weakness has gone away all the way. After speaking to my doctor, she did mention that flare-ups can last for months. So the weakness has not gone all the way. There are days where I do feel it. And it also just depends on what I'm doing too. If I'm like continue to bend over all the time, then I can start to feel that if I'm tired, like literally. And if you don't know much about MS, you have to take care of yourself. You have to get constant movement, not just random movements all the time, constant movement, moving your body, constant sleep. So all those things contribute to that. So I do sometimes feel weakness. Now though, I know exactly what it is, so I know to just relax, sit down, get it together. And it's not as bad as that first one. The first one was very like, I'm going to fall. This one, or sometimes now when I feel it, it's just like, okay, there's a little tingling, let me hold on and just let it just bypass it, because it doesn't take a long time for it to move past and move right along. One thing that I have, also my vision is back completely from taking the Ocrevus. And things that I do now to kind of just take care of myself, which I've been doing, but more so now because that was scary as heck. I think I said that, but like scary, okay? I move my body. I exercise. I prioritize exercising. Whether I have to find a partner, whether I'm doing it in the house, I prioritize exercising. I need to move my body, and that is so crucial for MS, is to move your body. I am also making sure that I am proactive and prepping things so that I can eat at home. I know that I might have mentioned that in my postpartum video about like how I wasn't in the mood to cook. The girl's in the mood to cook now sometimes. So just even prepping things for the days that I'm not in the mood to cook. But just staying on top of that and getting back to kind of the healthier lifestyle that I was doing before having a baby. So yeah, that is what MS has been like through postpartum and pregnancy. All is well. There's been scary moments, but all is well, and I'm very grateful for our doctors. I'm very grateful for our bodies, like my body, Artist's body. Grateful for that, like expressing gratitude to our bodies for being able to carry us, even when things feel like it's going to fall down, right? So just remembering those things. And yes, so I just wanted to share that with y'all. If you experience MS, comment down below. And I like to say experience. I don't know if I said this before, experience, because this is only experience. I'm healing and I'm already healed, okay? So this is only an experience. And I don't say I have. So maybe think about that too, changing your word choice if this is something that you want to heal from. But if you also experience MS, comment down below. I love to chit chat with you, see how your experience is going as well. And let me know what other videos you all want to see. So yeah, make sure to embrace your journey because it makes you who you are today. And I will see you all in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.